Hi, it's the 11th of May, and we have some other recordings for you that are previous to this one, but I just understood that we are going to talk about the energy of the last couple of days and some of whatever is to come in the near future. So we're going to put this one in before the other recordings. I don't think I will have to ask any questions. I think they're raring to go. So Manon and I say hi and over to our friends.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, so we are so delighted to be here with you. And yes, Chantal, it is so true. We want to talk with you, with everyone, with each and every one of you about the energy these days. So you might have noticed that the energy is very, it's very pulsing. So it's very energetical. But the pulsing also means that you as a human being, you can experience this on different levels. And we want to talk with you about these different levels, how you can experience this. Because this is, now, if you're watching this video right now in this now moment, it doesn't only mean that it has to be now on this day. Okay, so here's the thing, because you are used to a linear timeline. Yes, the pulses that you are experiencing, and you will be experiencing these more and more and more and more, is because the energetic field from Earth is readjusting. Now, this also means that the human bodies are readjusting, and they have been readjusting for a long time already. Yes, and this is the fun part, and actually it is a fun part. The fun part is that the consciousness of the human beings are getting more and more able to actually experience these pulses. So it means that these pulses, they have been going on for quite some time already, yet you are not always really able to feel that, to experience this in your own electromagnetic field. Now, these pulses are influencing you, your whole field. You didn't notice, yet you will notice these more and more often. Now, this can trigger you, but in a fun way. Really in a fun way. Now, what do we mean with fun? Fun. Basically, the fun way is already that you are feeling more and more and more and more and more. So your life becomes richer. So you have all these impulses. You have pulses, and they are like the impulses. They resonate with you. Now, they can either work against you in your own thinking world, or they can work with you. We're gonna pause there for a second, because it looks like we're not saying a lot, yet we are saying a lot. It can work against you, meaning that if you feel aggregated, or you have these sensations going on in your body, and these sensations can also mean that your physical body is getting you might get headaches, you might get well, Chantal, like you might not be able to sleep, you might get even feelings of anxieties inside of you, because you are not used to the experiences that are going on inside of you right now. Now, a thing is that if you are experiencing feelings, motions, or impulses in your body that you don't recognize, and that are giving you a sort of an uncomfortable feeling,
it can start to work against you, because the mind takes over and tells you.
There you go.
Something negative, rather than, okay, I'm just going through some growing pains. Whatever it is, stay with it.
There you go. And this exactly is what we want to help you with, become more and more accustomed to the fact that you will experience in your physical body, you will have these not so comfortable experiences, yet it is the mind that will trick you to make these help us out, Chantal.
Well, to give it, it will start to fill in what is actually happening, even though you haven't got a clue what that is. So it might tell you, oh, you're getting older because the body is feeling all this, and or it's you're in you know, you, whatever. It could be anything.
So, and then it is working against you.
So now, can I ask a question here?
Yes.
Because, you know, we've all been bombarded for decades now that we have to do positive thinking, which sounds like fun, but if you're not in a positive mood, it is impossible to do positive thinking. Not only that, it means that.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. Plus, when you're in that mood, or state of being, it also tells you that if you can't positive think, then there's another thing wrong with you, and you're not allowed to feel what you're feeling. So is there a way that we can maybe bend something towards the positive without it being all flowery and lilac and pink and all that and sugary and
because how can one person now, for instance, what we just mentioned,
yes,
that is an explanation of the fields that you are living in, right? So the magnetic electronical field you're living in,
the electromagnetic field, yes,
the electro, right? So it has nothing to do with what you're experiencing in your normal life and how you look at reality right now, right? So, so if you are in a safe place as a human being, if your body is safe, if you as a human being in this earthly life, if you're safe, then you have all the time in the world to explore. But if you're somewhere and you need to fight to stay alive, literally, or you have to protect yourself, literally, you have to protect your human body, literally, to danger, external danger, then you are dealing with totally different things than the first person we just mentioned.
Yes.
Now, and this is the thing, and we so hear you when you talk about how everything has to be positive thinking, and it's when you think positive, your whole life will become positive, and you have all these positive influences in your life, because that is we're not going into that, but it's so we go back to that. Getting all excited. How can a person start with positive thinking if your own situation is not that positive at all from the first sight, right?
Right.
So you will feel, if someone is telling you that you have a disease, you might be dying, you cannot say at the same time to the person, but if you think positive, it will all go away. You can't. And it's not fair to tell that person that by positive thinking, you will change everything. You will change your whole structure and you will fight the disease.
It's the wrong way round.
In a way, but this is a very, 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 we don't want to, how do we put it? Because if you're going to say advanced way, then it's like there are levels. There are no levels. So that's not where we want to take you at. Here's the thing. you can look at life on different levels. You can experience life on different levels. You can experience your being, your consciousness on different levels.
Could you say a bit more about that?
Yeah. Remember how we talked about that life, and then we might as well use capital L, life, before life on Earth and after life on Earth. You're safe.
Sorry, about life on Earth, you mean life as a human, right? Not
all life, all life. Basically all life.
All life, okay. But on this planet.
Right. So life on the planet. But before life on this planet,
yeah,
you are safe. Not as a human being, because you're not a human being yet. You're a human being here on this planet. But as an energy, you're safe. Yeah. Which ends your life.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? But it's not life as in the form that you know it. It's not life in this form. It is life in a different form. That life in that different form is still with you during your life here on this planet. And that form will still be with you.
Yes.
After this life on this planet.
Okay.
So if you look in that dimension, if you look in that field, you are safe. And you carry that part with you during your life here on Earth, on this planet.
Right. So on that level, you are always safe, whole and complete.
Exactly. And that part, if you, during your life on Earth, reconnect to that part again, if you feel that part flowing through you again, if you realize again that that energy
is always there.
Exactly. That will help you understand life better. That will help you come through life and have all your experiences on Earth from a different angle.
Yeah.
And if you allow yourself that part become more and more, how do you say that? The helping hand right next to your earthly soul.
Yes.
Then you will notice
an ally.
An ally, right? You're working together. Basically, it's like different parts in yourself that are working together as one. And
with earthly soul,
ego,
right? Okay.
And we like to call, instead of talking about ego, we like to call it earthly self, because ego, there is so many negative
yeah, there's a lot of ego bashing going on as well.
Yeah,
whereas it is an ally, and we rely on it heavily, and it's time we are a little bit more friendly to it.
Exactly.
And become aware of how it works.
Exactly.
Because it can, like you said, like the positive thinking, it can work against us too.
Now, and if that ego part, if your earthly soul is allied with the part that knows it's safe always, then it's not so much about you needing to think positive. You will automatically have this different energy flowing through your system.
I get that. So the foundation is stronger.
Exactly.
In fact, the foundation is safe.
Yeah.
And
that is, we, and with we mean there's so much help on Earth There's so much help on Earth. And that brings us to the second part. We'll get there. On Earth right now. Helping, guiding, for people to feel that safety inside themselves again. And we know how this can be misjudged or misinterpreted. It's a difficult word, but how people can use that word on a... What's that?
Misinterpreted.
There you go. We're not gonna repeat that. Manon is saying, no. Okay, well, we don't. Because it may appear that you are responsible for you being safe here on Earth. No, because you are here on Earth, so many different forms of life. So you're not always, as a human being, safe on Earth.
Because there could be a tiger right
behind to the lion, hey, I'm safe. You don't know that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't advise Manon to tell her, stay there, you're safe. You don't know that.
No.
You can have a different experience than you would expect. It's something different. And you are part of creating that experience. Right? So, and this is that mind thing that has all these stories ready based on the past. And you can make new stories. We're not gonna go into this one for too long, but it might be a good one to have a longer talk about.
Well, it's a bit like the you're never too old for a happy childhood. If you only experience your childhood from the perspective of the child that you were, then your life is your outlook is pretty limited. So it may have at that moment in time been really uncomfortable or really, complicated or whatever. But as you grow older and you have more of a distance and you can look back, then there are other times in between that were fun or that were interesting or adventurous or God knows. So it is how you start to look at it to go, really, was it such an unhappy childhood? Actually, there were some happy times there as well. So you're already changing the story within the story that way.
Yeah. This is how we get back to the first part of what we wanted to talk with you about, is that right now, so all these pulses, these energy pulses are really very not activated. They're really very active on Earth. Has been for a long time, will be, stay like that. The human beings, you will get more and more sensitive. You will notice it more and more. So you can either have that it's working against you when you're fighting it and when you're making up these stories. And here comes the good part. Fun. Here comes the good part. Once you realize that this means that your body is it's
adjusting
your system. So the can you call it the biological system that runs the body?
So
the biochemical
understands that right now. So yeah, let's call it that.
Yeah, so the biochemical parts in your body are also adjusting. And it will help you. It will help the generations to come to be able to use your senses. There we go again. Use your senses. Remember that one. To use your senses on a more subtle way. And also you will become more and more able to experience different forms of life on Earth in different ways, because you will open up more and more and more. Your frequencies are higher and higher and higher. And this is really what you are feeling, basically. So
Right.
there are different things going on planet Earth, and as you notice, and we are working here with you as well. Sometimes we talk about real earthly business between how it works between human beings, and sometimes we talk more about the structure of human design. So this is more to do with the design, the human design that is actually changing. It has been changing for quite some time now, but it's like you're accelerating. And you're accelerating because everything is accelerating.
Yes.
And the fun part of it is that if you allow yourself and you allow it to flow through you, instead of fighting it or being afraid of it, you don't have to be afraid of it. So many questions. We're hearing so many questions going on inside Manon's head. How do you know that this is coming from the pulses, and when is it because I'm afraid of something really that's going on in my situation? We don't want to go into that right now. Maybe save those questions. We want to ask you.
I think one of the things is, it doesn't mean that if you feel those impulses, or if you are feeling changes in the body that do not feel comfortable, don't hesitate to have them checked out, just because there is now being said that it could
that is a good solution. Right.
It can be, but at the same time, if that stays in your head, go and have it checked out. You know, it's important. Yes. Science is not there or it's there for a reason. Use your own common sense at all times. Yes, listen to your own body and your intuition. Yes, and go and see a doctor. Make sure it's nothing like that. That's it.
And if you and when you realize and when you allow yourself that these are the pulses you're really experiencing, that might even give you headaches or nauseousness or a horrible sleep at night, still tell yourself, I can enjoy this because it's my DNA. Really, it's on a DNA level.
That's readjusting.
It's readjusting. Yeah. So, and that is what's going on right now. And you're feeling it, you're experiencing it, and just know you can play with it. Maybe not in the moment when you're really feeling those pulses, but after that, it's like, and here comes one again.
So it's a bit like the natural movement of the universe, where there's expansion and contraction and expansion and contraction. So the contraction part usually feels kind of narrow as I have to get through, and then I'm through and I can breathe again. So it's a bit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we ask you to talk about. No, we're not asking you to talk about it. We're talking about it right now, but to share it with the world right now, because you're really in a heavy storm right now.
Right. Yeah, apparently astrologically, which I don't know an awful lot about, but I do know people that do, this month is pretty hectic on that.
It's a heavy storm right now. And when you allow yourself to stay focused, stay in the center, and to let it flow through you, with self-love, with self-care.
And a lot of humor.
And a lot of humor.
We need a lot of humor at the moment. We really do.
Yeah. And reach out.
Yes, please do.
And don't take too many things too serious right now, because when you take things too serious, you get all in these emotions, and these emotions will cause reactions. Please see what you can do to stay out of the fields of reactions, reactive behavior. Help yourself. Think.
I mean, if you feel sad, do cry, but you mean as in especially when you're connecting with other people.
Yeah.
Stay out of the reactiveness. So even if something triggers you, find out what they mean first before you explode, or, you know, listen very carefully to the tone or the frequency with which something is said rather than the words. They can confuse.
Yeah.
We all
You're all in it together. You are all in it.
And what we're trying to do here, I think, or is to create a community, or a community that's already there. But which is why we really want you to reach out to us and like us and ask questions or even comments or anything, because it gives us an idea of if there are specific themes going on, or whether we should ask specific questions to the energies. Hi, Manon. There's, yeah, that. So we would love for you to do that. And you can do that below, I think.
You mean type, yeah.
Well, no, below is where you have the share and the like and the all that and comment. I think.
Wow.
So yes, I think that's it, right, for today. Or
I think so too. Yeah. Okay. They were
no.
they were ahead of me now. So yes. And we want to thank you. And to add one more thing is that help yourself. Really help yourself with self-love and self-care, and also by reaching out to a person close to you. Reach out, really reach out, because this is also it will become so much more easier and easier, especially when you allow yourself, of course, but to be close with each other. And you can actually start feeling each other on different frequencies.
Yeah.
So go out there and try and have fun with it. And even when you are sad and when you're lonely and when you feel you need to cry all the time, maybe you've been crying a lot by yourself. Maybe this can be the time to reach out and cry together, share together. And then in that moment, you can feel again how you are connected. It's just a suggestion. But that is also self-love and self-care.
Very
and
true.
we're here, we're always here. Not just now, we're always here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here again.
Yeah.
And I guess there's one more thing that I just thought of about the thinking positive.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I wanted to talk to you about it. I mean, it's now it's here now, but that positive thinking.
Yeah.
Even those, if you want to attract the good, if you want to attract things to you, you have to do it positive thinking.
And of course, there's a grain of truth into it, but from a different angle.
There is, right?
That's why. Well, I'm glad it came up, because it was a question I had. The one thing though, if you're in a place where it's really, really dark, and you find it really difficult to find any spark of positivity, another thing that usually works is gratitude. There's almost always one thing that you can be extremely grateful for. If you have children, it's usually your kids, or a relationship that you're in, or the country that you live in. I am eternally grateful that I was born in Holland, because my God, we have so many privileges here, especially as a woman. So I can, and under any circumstances, I can be extremely grateful for that, and that can help. Now, I don't think of that when I'm in a bad place. So it's on my door. As soon as I walk out the door, I walk into the stuff that I'm grateful for, because otherwise I'm not going to grab that little booklet. So that was just one of the suggestions. Shall we leave it at this for today?
Definitely.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for watching again.
Yes. And well, everything else we've already mentioned. So we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.